Hello, Barataim. What does that mean, Barataim? I'll tell you what that means. Hello, my friends. This is Jackson Galaxy, and that is what I meant. Hello, my friends, and that is in Hungarian. And today we are going to help a friend of ours out, a friend who sent in a video. Her name is Livinia. Where is Livinia? Budapest, Hungary. And let me just tell you something. For those of you who don't know, it's my people right there. It's my people. My dad actually emigrated from Hungary back in the day. So let's get to it. This is Livinia. She has a cat named Charlie and just introduced a kitten named Little JJ. And there is a little bit of trouble in paradise, clearly, or she wouldn't be reaching out to me. So let's check in with Livinia.
Hi Jackson, this is Livinia, and we are in Budapest. We have Charlie. She is our 2.5-year-old cat. We have just adopted a kitten. He's a he and his name is JJ. We created base camp. We kept them separated. The little one, little JJ, he's at home. He feels at home and he loves it. Charlie doesn't like him. She's scared, so she growls at him. She got really vocal. She talks to us and says, "Oh my God, you don't love us anymore." This is Charlie. I don't know if you can see her. Are you coming up? Good girl. She's here on the... Yes, this is her saying that she's not happy right now. She's on my back. See? What you do, my love? So we just want to know really what to do with Charlie. We are playing with her. We give her lots of love. On day 4, we had them at about 15 centimeters from each other playing. We had a moment where she striked at him without claws, without hurting him, just a little, "Don't touch me, I'm scared of you." And he just went on his belly in this submissive pose. We just hope that she can come to good terms with him. We are doing everything to make sure that she is coming to him at her own time, so we're not forcing anything, but a suggestion would be great. All right then, bye.
All right, now normally, you guys, I would just show you the cat footage. I want to just stop right here for a reason. And that reason being, it's amazing how humans will set something up and then the cats tell us something else. So now let's take a look at the cat footage and see if what Livinia is seeing and what I'm seeing is around the same thing.
What's that for? Yes?
So let's stop here and let's start taking a look at the way I'm seeing it. Little JJ comes in totally respectful. I would say about 7 feet apart. And JJ comes in off to the side, not coming down the middle of the room, not claiming any kind of territory whatsoever, just going off to the side, respectful. Goes over to the side of this thing and just starts playing with the mat a little bit. I'm just gonna play. I'm over here playing. And in the meantime, let's switch over to Charlie and Charlie's tail down low, a little bit of this, you know, I am agitated. Little JJ could care less about anything, but at the same time, little JJ is not claiming anything at all. So as of right now, this is the kind of dialogue I want to see. As long as the next little bit here isn't Charlie going haywire and jumping JJ, then this is the kind of dialogue I like to see between this kitten and this grown cat.
Why does he scare you? You're in base camp, my love. You have to pass here. Look, he drinks out of your bowl and you drink out of his bowl. Okay, go and eat, my love. Yes, no, you're going behind me. Okay.
Now we've got the doors open, but yet Charlie just doesn't feel right leaving the confines of base camp. And again, JJ is like, "What's up? Whatever, I'm a kitten." Now let's move on to this next little bit here. And now we see Charlie slowly deciding to move past JJ. Now these are the moments that I need to see because Charlie made a choice. Charlie's choice, and Charlie knows that JJ poses very little threat, I think, physically, although we still have to prove it to her. But as she moves past JJ, I got my eyes on you right now. I got my eyes on you. I'm still walking low and very careful, but I'm doing it. and I'm moving past you, never making a move towards them. That's really crucial. Ooh, the hiss. And you'll see that before the hiss, ears are pointed straight at her target being JJ. That's how we work, right? We're hunting. What is that? I got to take in all the information about you. And I'm doing it with my ears, I'm doing it with my whiskers, I'm doing it with my eyes and my nose. The whole thing is all focused on you, and that's what we see a lot. Take a look at this, right? First, we've got JJ. I'm a playing, my tail is wagging, but that's because I'm playing with this thing, And then Charlie. Yeah, Charlie is just like, I am just not sold on any of this. Charlie is sending messages. As we've seen in the hallway, JJ is respectful. Same in the playing. JJ is not trying to solicit play out of Charlie at this point, because I think JJ knows that it's not going to end up well for JJ. So he just keeps his distance and he's playing with his toys. So how do we get these guys to the next step here? There's one thing I want to mention here, and that is, Livinia, I think you're making it a little worse. And what do I mean by that? Let's see what Livinia says causes a little bit of trouble here.
Yes, this is her saying that she's not happy right now. She's on my back. See?
Because it's not about what your cats are doing, it's about what you feel they're doing and the guilt that you're feeling about bringing this little kitten in to a territory that Charlie owned. I hate you, Mom. I can't stand you, Mom. I don't love you anymore, Mom, because you ruined my life. That's not happening here, Livinia, and it's really important for you to pull yourself out of this storyline because it does nothing but cause you guilt. Cats are territorial. They're not going to be throwing, a little cocktail party welcome wagon type of thing for a new cat coming in there, because that's just not the way they work. But I think you've gotten really to a good spot here. So let me give you some suggestions. And my first suggestion is, Livinia, step away from the human narration of this whole thing from an emotional standpoint. Head and heart, head and heart. Let's just put it out here. Just the facts. This is about introducing two cats. Okay? Now what I'd like you to get to is the part of the introduction process I call Eat, Play, Love. Now we've got these two in the same sort of vicinity. What we want to do is make sure that whenever they're in that vicinity, we break out the most high value stuff for them that only happens in the presence of the other cat. That's how we get to the next level here. So what I want you to do, and I know that your guilt is making it so this is going to be a really hard thing for you, no treats except in the presence of the other cat. I know there's lots of guilt treats that you're probably giving to Charlie at this point. Guilt food also. I don't see anything here about what you're feeding and when you're feeding. We're going to not leave food out all the time. We're only going to feed meals, and we feed those meals in the presence of one another. I know JJ's just going to walk up to a bowl and start eating. JJ's doesn't care. Charlie does. So how close can we get them to eating together where Charlie doesn't spend half the time growling and hissing? Just far enough away to be respectful, but gives us a place where we can start pushing them together a little bit more. So we've got that eating part. And then there's play and love, right? So all of this loving, the petting, the human contact that you and your husband can give these cats, try to do it as much as you possibly can in the other cat's presence. And the same thing goes with play. Now, one of the things I'd like to point out, and I know that you made the video and your husband wasn't there, and you said that you and your husband both play with them. But the thing that worries me the most, and I'm going to show you a few different examples. So in these three different scenes, we're seeing the same thing, which is that Charlie has to decide for herself what comes next. And that's a 50-50 proposition. When we're talking about the meeting of these cats, and this goes for any two cats, once we've broken the boundaries of base camp, is we can't let them make the decisions. We are going to lead them to the decision making. So in this case, what you guys could have done is at this point, one of you, your husband or you, takes a toy, because that's all JJ wants right now is to play. Lead JJ away so that now Charlie doesn't have to try to do the sneak by, right? Or what you can do in that moment is one of you gives a treat to JJ, the other one leads Charlie with a treat. I have a goal for you. The goal is I walk by, I've got this incredible jackpot treat waiting for you here, and she gets there, she gets the treat. Aha, I know that if I do this and I do it with confidence, I get something, right? JJ in the meantime is just like in a corner with your husband, just having a good time. So what Charlie is missing here is knowing that there's going to be something in it for her to hang out with this little pesky creature, and she gets something out of it. All we want to do is tolerance. Right now she's got the very beginning of tolerance, but I just don't want that defensive body language, that sort of, woo, I don't like you, I don't know what you're going to do next. And instead, every time I'm with you, good stuff happens. I get praised, I get treats, and I get my dinner, and I get all my favorite toys, and JJ gets the same thing. The thing that it's important, because JJ is so kitten, that if you break out a toy for Charlie, JJ's probably going to run over. So the best thing to do is to be playing with JJ in a different area of the living room. So we've got one cat having a good time over here, one over here doing their own thing. At no point does there come this stare down, because that's when bad things happen. Like in this moment, if Charlie were just staring at JJ while JJ's playing, and at some point JJ was grown up enough to look back, and they're just staring at each other. This is like, you know, the outlaw Josie Wales kind of stuff. Like, I'm standing at the showdown at the OK Corral. All right, partner, who's going to draw first? We're just staring at each other. At some point, someone's going to draw, and there's going to be a gunfight at the OK Corral. We don't want that, do we? Ooh, that's right. We are in Budapest and not the Wild West. Let's just recalibrate here. So this is the big thing. Eat, Play, Love, I think, is really going to help you guys out a lot. Another thing that it helps with, to draw Charlie out, you were noting that Charlie was kind of stuck in base camp. She's got this invisible fence there at that door. For you to get her to just walk, I'm just going, because I have a goal. I have a toy, or I have a treat, or I have the promise of something that's out here in this living room, and JJ is occupied. Boom. And we repeat this as much as we possibly can, so that she just gets confidence in her walk. She also knows that JJ is not going to jump on top of her because one of you guys is occupying him. Charlie in no time is going to realize that JJ is not a threat. And at that age, there is no claim to territory. They don't have ulterior motives for the most part. I mean, that might happen a couple of months down the line, but if we can set the table here of consistent Charlie going, wait a minute, I got nothing to worry about here. And then the next day comes, all right, I got nothing to worry about here. You got to rerun that tape day after day in order for Charlie to just start walking with confidence again. So when it comes to the point, which is inevitable, Livinia, where JJ just jumps on top of Charlie, I'm laughing, because if that happened right now, it wouldn't be a good ending for either party. But by the time that does finally happen, because you have been supervising so much in terms of their interactions, it won't be a surprise to Charlie. Charlie knows it's not serious. So there you have it. Eat, Play, Love. That's where you guys are at right now. And don't forget, Livinia, take yourself out. Don't worry about Charlie hates me, Charlie hates me. Charlie's doing fine. I mean, there are some moments we got to hiss, we got a little growl, we got moving around. This is all normal introduction. When she jumps on your back, she doesn't hate you. When she makes a vocalization, she doesn't hate you. Not crazy about this moment in time, and she might not be crazy about JJ, but she's now looking at you like, Mom, you ruined my world. That's really what it comes down to. And it makes the process with you and your husband a little easier. So there you go. Eat, Play, Love. Don't follow the storyline emotionally, and I think you're going to have a very happy household. So that's it. Thank you, Livinia, for sending in the question. You guys can absolutely send in questions from anywhere on this big planet of ours and beyond. Do they have cats? Well, whether it's you in another galaxy or you guys, wherever you are on the planet, just go to this link right here, and all you gotta do is exactly what Livinia did. Tell me what's going on, send me a clip of your cats, and we will go through it together and try to find a solution. In the meantime, don't forget that every Catterday we premiere a brand new video. So make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, set the alerts so that when I announce that the premiere is coming, you're like, whoop, there's a new video coming. Gotta watch it because it is Catterday. All right, you guys, until next time, all light, all love, all mojo to you.
Meow.